I hit okay. It should work.
Oh, it's on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yo. Bro. Dude, what?
Oh, you're live.
Yeah? It's good? Yo, can you pull up the chat somewhere so I can see it? Hello, hello. What up, everybody? Hang on, guys. We're just whoever's in here right now. I'm just waiting so I can see the chat, so I can read your guys' comments and stuff. Alright, boys. We're going to be watching Chronoc today. Be watching Overpass because I was specifically told that he played badly on this Overpass game. So, the more mistakes, the better. That's what we're looking for. Come on. Okay. Alright, I'm going to tab into the game. Find Chronoc.
Let's just do.
Wait. Voice enable 0 in case anyone's saying some crazy shit. Turn the volume up a little. 21 maybe? No. Okay, let's see. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Alright. Alright guys, look, I can't read the chat yet, but I'm just gonna like jump into the game here. So right now we have pistol round. It looks like we're doing like a, this is a putt. I think this is a face it putt. No, this is an ESCA putt, by the way. So everybody keep in mind that there is probably very minimal and or no communication whatsoever post freeze time. So, so he's gonna go first. Okay. So I'm just gonna mull over just a couple things really fast. I have to try to rewind as little as possible because of CSGO demo viewer. It's very slow. Everyone knows this, but I'm moving on. So the important part for me when he's running up short like this is fine. He has a teammate behind him. So something that I noticed already is like he has to, Chronoc has to focus on his crosshair placement a little bit more. It's important to be, like, it's good that he's aware of this, but it's important that, especially when he's coming up short here, he's putting his crosshair in the right places. Okay? He has to have anticipation for the enemies. Like right here, it's okay. He was looking at like wood, right? And as he goes around this corner, there's a smoke mid-sight, but there's no smoke heaven, so just has to be a little bit more aware. But as you're watching here, like, I'm gonna back it up one more time. I'm gonna slow it down. Yo, can you mute that for me? Okay. Alright, let me make it slower. Alright, so he's coming up short. Everything's good so far, except his teammate dying a monster. He's aware of wood. Can be right side pillar. And right here, I would say, what are you looking at? I think there's different things that you can do here, right? If you know that they're smoking mid-sight and we're not smoking heaven, then if you're coming around this corner, you have to be aware of heaven. Since you have teammates coming out monster, I would say don't be worried about the barrel guys so much. So either place your crosshair when you're coming around the corner on heaven, and just take that fight with your teammate behind you. Like don't swing out into bridge. See, like, this is too far. Just take the fight on heaven first with your teammate behind you, right? Once you either get that kill, then you guys strafe together. And I would recommend smoking heaven instead of mid-sight. But I don't know how set that was. Keep in mind that it's a bug, so. But it's often better to smoke heaven instead of mid-sight, just because there's too many angles. Alright, so second round, we got a mech 10. He's going blue. Okay, so this is very concerning for me. Just like, there's so many things that could happen to you right now. You're all by yourself. Let's look at where your teammates are. Like, we've got 3. We've got 2 in playground and 1 by like mid fountain. And then you're alone in blue. You haven't thrown any utility, but you've also made a lot of sound. So if people have walked down into blue, there's a good chance that they hear everything that you're doing. And if somebody is on the other side of this wall anywhere on any of these angles, he has the advantage over you just because he knows when you're coming. You just didn't approach with enough caution. Like, it's okay. And I would say buy, because would you have 800 in money? I would have bought Molly 2 flashes here, or Molly smoke, if you're going to go blue. That way, because you went by yourself, so use the Molly to clear out some of blue. And do it a little bit safer, because you could have died to CZs, anyone with any of these like MP9s if they're in blue. Like, this is a really tough fight for you to win, especially if you're by yourself. But okay, we kill the guy Guardian running up A. So you're basically entry right here, and you can't pull out nades. It's not possible to pull out nades here. You got the kill, you guys kept running up A, you were all on the same page, but pulling out your nades there could have gotten you killed, maybe if that guy was a better player. He just scout headshotted you. But something that you can also do as well, like, I don't know if you had teammates pulling nades, but let's check. Fast forward. Yeah, we talked about the move situation. Yeah, so you're the only person with nades. Okay, so we kill this guy. I'd say right when you kill this guy, if we want to run up A, I would say throw the jump up smoke. So you have to, I don't know if you're using CL show team equipment so that you can see every one of your teammates' equipment, but if you did, you'd know like, okay, nobody else has a smoke, so I should probably smoke it. That's better than pulling out the smoke when you're about to enter the site, because it's much easier to just have your gun out. Especially on a round like this, where you know there's only one more A, and then everyone else that you will see is rotator. So down here, it's just a little sloppy. I mean, not much you can say, right? It's a pug round. Let's go to the next round. Alright. First full gun round. Wait, hang on, let me just read the chat real fast, see if there's anything going on in here. Okay, Minor Esports asked, do you think utility is less important on buy rounds or on forces when playing in MM or FPL? As even if you know good lineups, you can't guarantee your teammates play around the utility properly. Do I think utility is less important on buy rounds when you're playing MM or FPL? I mean, yes and no. No, because alright, well, let's start with yes, actually. Yes, because people in MM or Faceit games or ESCA pugs, most people like to just buy like AK armor, Krieg armor, right? And they like to play for themselves. Communication isn't always the best. So you can always do your best as a player, even still communicating and calling utility, asking for flashes from your teammates and stuff in MM and stuff. But obviously, there's a lot, like, that's mostly casual, you know? People might not even have mics that you're playing with, so you can only do so much. But even if you should still always buy utility, because you can make plays you yourself. You can fake areas, even if your teammates don't know that it's going to help them. You can still fake areas, make it easier on your team on the other side of the map if they're going somewhere. But you can also use it yourself. Like, utility is very undervalued in amateur and semi-professional Counter-Strike. Even in some parts of professional Counter-Strike, it's undervalued. A lot of people do not understand, like, just what one flash can get you. One flash can win you the round in so many different moments. But yeah, that's my stand on utility. Whether you're playing MM, Faceit pugs, ESCA pugs, FPL, you're playing scrims, team, like, matches, officials, it doesn't matter. Like, buy utility. Always think about how you can use it to help yourself and also your team. So this is the first round that we've got. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna roast you right now because I don't know what kind of utility you're throwing. The HE is fine, but there's no point in using that molly there. This is good. You're clearing your teammate. It's fine. Again, I would say, like, my biggest thing for you right now is focusing on crosshair placement. It's very possible to have much better anticipation than what you usually do. Like here, this is good. Okay, you're aware of it. But even when you're running out into big areas, focus on your crosshair placement, because when you're coming down mid steps, they could still be where you're looking at right now. Basically, there could be an opper there, right? And just from the way that I watched you run down, you didn't have a chance if he was there. If he hits the shot, you die. So here I would say, who's your teammate next to you? Okay, so he doesn't have a flash. So you have two options, in my opinion. If you want to keep going up A, which obviously I don't know how much sense that would make if you were trying to play as a team, because you have three guys in B and it looks like they're being really noisy. So you could do one of two things. You could either throw a smoke for yourself right where you're aiming, because it cuts off the entire line of sight for the CTs basically denies them any information that anyone could be there. If they want to know, they have to push. Or they just have to play in sight and have a rotator play close to A. You could do that and then lurk up behind it, or you could just go group up with your teammates at B. Or you could tell Mad Dog, yo, go close to A. I'll flash for you, since he doesn't have a flash for you. But these angles that you're peeking right now, right, like this is very dangerous, just peeking by yourself, slowly, silently. So I would use a flash to peek angles like this. But since he doesn't have one for you, offer it for him. But yeah, so you're going up more, clearing more angles. Again, I don't know if it's just, it could be laziness, not clearing like all angles and taking your time with it, but yeah, you might just not care that much. I don't know. And also don't throw this smoke, because this smoke's really, really bad. It's better to not smoke it at all up until you're right where you are now, and then you just throw it off the wall so that it covers it perfectly. But you throw this smoke and it gives the CTs an immediate opportunity to retake. They can get in it, lurk in it. If they just walk up the stairs, somebody sits in that smoke where this guy is now. Let's say he had an M4 and he gets a flash from one of his teammates from somewhere. He could easily pop out one side of the smoke and get 2 or 3 kills if he's a good player. Shouldn't get any more. Ran out with a 50-50. Yeah, obviously you guys won the round, but there's about a million things everyone could have done better. Let me just read the chat real fast. Hey, Skull Crusher. Yeah, I dyed my hair color at the end of last year. This is a question by Joe Rooney. Despite Legia's impressive showing at Flashpoint, do you think the absence of Moose significantly hindered your performance as a team? Not significantly, only because Legia, obviously being our coach, like he's been with us, right? Even while we've been playing with Moose, he knows all of our tactics, or well, he knows our style of play. The only thing he doesn't have is chemistry playing with us inside the game. But he's all around like a really good teammate, very good communication. He's a very good support player. He's always willing to like drop somebody else an M4 and take an MP9, things like that. But it didn't significantly hinder us. But obviously, if we had Moose, who we'd been practicing with for a month or slightly over a month, everyone would have felt much more comfortable. But he did a good job. What's the deal with Moose? Visa issues? Yeah, pretty much, basically. And also, obviously, all the coronavirus stuff going on. You know, I mean, what can you do, right? Like, it's probably better that he stays in Canada anyway. Obviously, we'd love to have him here with us, but... Okay, so you're with your boys. Again, okay, decent crosshair placement. Not too bad. So what I noticed is, like, you guys should walk more. Like, there's not a whole lot of, like, walking. You know, if you're this guy, like, sitting in bathrooms right here, you hear everything. Like, if he plays this right, and he has good aim and crosshair placement, he could kill all 3 of you right now, if he wants. He was completely unfocused, so he killed nobody. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed you like to throw the smoke again. I already spoke about it though. This is not a good smoke to throw. Yeah, so okay, so let's say that you throw a good smoke rather than this one. Don't choose this spot. Even though we know that there's a guy in toilets because he killed one of your teammates, screw that guy. Just go, like, let's say you throw a good smoke, either go on top of truck or push into bank. That way, when your teammate plants the bomb, there's no chance that anyone can even run out CT and kill him planning. Because right now, the way that you're positioned, if a guy ran out CT, if this guy was a little bit faster, the Utopia guy, if he went to truck, he would catch you and your teammate. You with a nade out, and then your teammate planting the bomb. So this is very dangerous. If the other team was better, but all in all, like, this one is not so good. Now it's getting a little crazy. Alright, going out monster. That's good, you're aware of the peak. Now how do you clear these angles? Ah, you gotta take more time, bro. You gotta take more time clearing barrels. If somebody's there with a deagle and you lazy clear it, this is a free kill for him. When will be Envy's next match in Flashpoint? 1 week from now, I think. Is Mishu speaking English good? Yes, he is. And he always wants to improve it too. So anytime that he says something that was either poor English or he just didn't know how to express himself, like we help him with it. But yeah, he's doing a very good job. Yeah, it seems like a lot of times when you're in these positions where like your teammate's planting the bomb or you've cleared an area, but okay, now you don't see anyone, you don't know where to position yourself. Just think about where is the safest position that I can choose, where I'm not exposed to too many angles, right? But I also can just place my crosshair on one thing, the most likely position that where they would come from, to ensure that I get the kill if they do come from that position. That's how you want to think about it. And maybe that can help simplify things. And what just happened there, bro? I see that you died with utility, but yeah, there's no need to molly anything here. All you want to be aware of right now is you just want to have your gun out while these smokes are up, because there's a smoke in heaven, there's a smoke in like graffiti. Just have your gun out and punish anyone who makes these kinds of mistakes. If he runs out of heaven with no flashes or nothing, this guy has to die 100% of the time. There's no chance he should get any kills, right? Because right now you would have killed him and you would be in this position with him in a 2 versus 2, and you would know where the last 2 guys are because they're short and monster, and this would be an easy round. Because all you have to do at that point is just sit pit and kill the guy that comes short. And don't think I'm like being too harsh or anything. I'm not like flaming you. I'm talking about your mistakes because like this is what any player should do. If they watch their own games, or if they ask somebody to watch their games, you should look for all these things that you could be doing better. You obviously want to point out the good stuff too. But you want to be mostly focusing on the things that you can do better. That way you get the fastest growth possible. So don't worry, I'm not like flaming you. Skull Crusher asks, sorry, this was just a couple minutes ago, but whenever I play Pugs or Face It, I am always energized at the start. I hit my shots and I am focused, but after a few hours, the fatigue hits me and my shots are not as crispy as they were when you first started playing. I mean, this is normal to experience. Like, it's very easy to get fatigued, like playing Counter-Strike, especially if you kick the day off with like intense focus. It sounds like you're excited to play when you start playing, but you can only handle a couple hours, and then you kind of get, maybe you get bored, or you get tired, or you get hungry, right? I think the most important thing you can do is just listen to yourself or your body or whatever is happening. You know, what do I need? Do I need to take a 10-minute break and drink some water and eat some food? You know, do I need to just go chill and relax for like 30 minutes and just take a break and then I'll come back, right? Or can I keep playing, but I just need to have a different mindset or approach to the game? Because sometimes if you have the same mindset or the same approach to the game, you know, all throughout the day, and you're not really tweaking it to make it better and healthy for you, then that can cause fatigue as well. So if you've played like 2 pugs, right, and you played okay, but you didn't play terrible, you didn't play great, but you're not necessarily happy with how you played, then try a different approach for the next one. Try to just have a different mindset. Don't let yourself get tilted. Those kinds of things. So it's good. He's close monster. He's aware if somebody might pop through. Personally, it's just better to be by the barrel, in my opinion, if they do come through the smoke. Just because it's a safer position for you, easier to take duels. Right here, you're kind of all in, you know. So if a flash comes over and hits you and you're full blind, you're kind of stuck. So it's good. You're walking around, not letting the enemies know where you are. Right here, crosshair placement is so important, dude. So important. You have to be ready for a guy to be right where he's about to be in this position. Okay? See, like, it seems like you're not entirely but you still kill the guy anyway due to just having a good reaction shot, so that was good by you, but you can always set yourself up better. And again, it seems like you don't really know how to deal with the angles, but what you want to do in this situation anyway is you have 4 teammates at A, so as soon as you get that kill in short B, you should stop, you should check your minimap, right? See, okay, here's where my team is, here's how much time is left on the clock, it seems like they're probably going to go A. You get that kill, I don't know what the communication was like from A, but if you get that kill, you can easily say, hey, come B, come B, come B. You know, because maybe you know that there's only one more B. As you can see, they're obviously about to deal with like 3 guys up at A, which is concerning. But you have the option to either just leave short B and join them at A, or you tell them come back to B. Whoever's the most pushed up right now, number 8, he can take fights and take duels all he wants, but everyone else should fall back, come down blue door, and come to B with you. So I don't know what your communication was like, obviously, but those are the kind of things that you can do. Hang on, let me just see what you were saying. Kenneth, nifty look, you got the most underrated movement. Hey, thanks, bro. Do I know how the major delay will affect the minor? Not necessarily, but I'm sure everything will be postponed, right? Chronox says a couple minutes ago, I don't mind getting roasted. Roast me as much as possible. I sent this in to learn. Yeah, it's good, man. That's the right mentality that you gotta have. But yeah, not roasting you, just giving you blunt feedback there. Going down blue door. So now here again, you have like something you also have to do is you have to make sure that you're completely aware of what kind of money the other team has as much as possible. I mean, it's a pug. A lot of people force buy. There's not so much you can do, but you can have a general idea of what it looks like, right? So in this round, if you're going to go blue door, I would recommend that you and DNT use your mollies to clear out rather than walking, because if Floof is down here with a CZ, right, or you have maybe even a blue door stack with like 3 people, you guys are in trouble. But luckily it didn't happen that way, so there's nothing to be too worried about. Yeah, again, I noticed I've seen you come down these mid steps the same exact way, like 5 times already. I know what you would already say. Obviously, I'm talking about crosshair placement. Please tell me as soon as you finish planning, you're gonna smoke jump up the right way. Molly's fine. It's all good. So Deco asks, hey Nifty, how much of a pro's day is spent on VOD reviews? Also, how much of your practice is spent with coaches? Good questions. I would say the first question, how much of a pro's day is spent on VOD reviews? I would say that it varies from player to player. I obviously can't know how somebody from Navi, you know, how many demos they watch or how often. I can speak for, I'll use my teammate Mishu as an example. I know that every single day he's opening up some sort of a VOD, whether it's of himself or another team from just a whole nother game in general, because he wants to check something out, maybe learn something new about his spot, or maybe he's curious about something. So he'll open up a demo and watch it, sometimes in the morning, sometimes after practice. But generally I would say for most players that want to stay updated on the meta of the game and make sure that they're always playing to the best of their abilities and they're learning what are other teams changing about what's normal and things like that. I would say just about every single day. And how much of your practice is spent with coaches? Well, our coach is always in all of our scrims with us, and also our server time that we spend together. Like if we just go into our server and we speak about overpass, you know, how do we want to play CT side today? How do we want to play T side? Here's some things that we can try. He's there for all of that. So he's pretty much with us the entire day. The only thing that the only time where that will separate is like after practice. You know, if players want to play FPL or if they want to work on things just with like their site partner or something, then he won't be there for that unless you ask him to. But if you ask him, he'll be there. Can you still link demos? No, sorry, brother, sorry. I don't know that many smokes, if I'm being honest. I need to learn them more. I know a couple from Train, Mirage, Cash, but I need to go through and practice more maps. Yeah, dude. I mean, obviously there's endless YouTube videos out there where you can learn all of the basic smokes. Yeah, be careful on a lot of these angles, brother. You're holding W a lot, which is fine if you have the information that indicates like, okay, there's not going to be anyone here. And sometimes it's okay to take risks and just run, but you need to stop and clear more angle. Take a little bit more time clearing some angles, right? So like this where you're looking at right now, it's common for an Opper or even an M4 to peek you from here when you were coming through playground. So you just want to take your time a little bit more clearing that angle, just like an extra second or so. This right here, this is a useless molly, because it's not going to get you anything. Because Floof, if he's on the left side, you throw that molly, he can be like, okay, throw your molly. It's not going to hit me. It's not going to kill me. It's also not going to gain you any space or anything. So I would just say save that for a better occasion. But good shot, nonetheless. It seems like you're pretty good with like reaction shots. Your crosshair placement isn't the best, but if he's on your screen, you're good at adjusting your crosshair to him. So that's a good thing. So you're clearing some angles. Your whole team just died at B. So one thing that you want to focus on, this is just like the other situation. As soon as you killed that guy in toilets, you know that nobody else is going to fight you right away because you would have known otherwise. So as soon as you fight this guy, okay, you kill him. Now, relax. You don't have any teammates with you. You've done your job just by getting this kill. You punished him for making his mistakes. Now, check your radar. Okay, where is my team? Okay, how much time is on the clock? What does my utility look like? What do my teammates' utility look like? How can we use our utility, but also where can I move to and reposition to help my team win this round? So what I would do in this situation, you can see your teammates running back to get the bomb, and he's bringing it towards B. So for me, I would go over into the front of blue, and I would throw a smoke up towards short A so that it cuts off that information for the CTs. And then I would just walk down blue and go short with number 8, who's already in blue door, or I would just go back through T spawn and join your teammate with the bomb, because you can clearly see that your team is going to end up B. And it's totally fine for you. You don't have to like rush up A and like full fake it. Just throw a little bit of presence after you're getting this kill. Make them guess. Make them push for information if they want. But yeah, you ultimately want to end up with your team, because you going long here, this is what we call on our team a dead lurk. Like, you're not gaining anything for the team, but also you're not going to have any impact either. So yeah, see, because now you're just left in A. You're on a very long lurk. There's so many angles that you can die to, it's impossible to clear all these things perfectly, you know? So just think about that. When something happens, check your radar, see where your team is, get a grip on the situation again, just because a lot of times in Counter-Strike, a situation happens in front of you and you have to focus on that, so you can't always keep track of what your team is doing. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, of course. What do I think is the key to consistency? Well, I think it all starts with like everyday life outside the game. In order to be consistent playing Counter-Strike, you have to have a consistent a consistent schedule before you start playing Counter-Strike. So you have to be waking up at roughly the same time every day, eating properly, drinking enough water, things like that, even working out, and just having some sort of a routine so that you are ready to go. There's no grogginess. You don't feel weird when you get on Counter-Strike, because you don't want to just roll out of bed and start playing Counter-Strike. The first thing you hear is somebody talking about pistol round. That's not what you want. So I think it starts with your everyday life. And then in the game, consistency comes from decision making. You can always practice your aim, but and you can have so much control over your aim, but sometimes you're just not going to hit shots. Sometimes you're going to have rough days. You know, you have to train your aim. But one thing that you always have control over is your decision making, and that will result in consistency. When you're training with the full team, who are you playing against? Or full team go FPL, hope the best for you. Thank you. We're already training with our full team again, brother. Made a call at that round to go A after that pick. So with my crosshair placement, I should raise it up a little more, right? Or I think I missed the original comment on my placement. I don't remember the round. Shit. I don't remember the round. There's been a few rounds where like your crosshair placement could have been a little bit better, but if you're talking about the round where you were party that I was just talking about. Yeah, I think it was that round. Okay, yeah. Where you killed the guy from bathrooms. Maybe you called for your team to go A. Hopefully nobody at B called go A because yeah, okay. It is that round. Hopefully nobody at B called to go A because clearly they were all on the same page that they wanted to go out B. So if you called it, you shouldn't have, just because you have to check your radar. And if you call it, your teammates have to respond either yes or no. You know, you can't just expect people to shift, right? Because if they're in the middle of monster tunnel and you say come A, you know, you're not always going to be able to. Maybe at that point they're too committed. So that's why I say check again, just check your radar, and see where everything is. Which team IGL do you take the most inspiration from? I don't really have like one team or IGL or anything. There are really good things that you can get from each IGL, from each team, and from each team, because every team plays a little bit of a different style. There are things that are meta that every team does, but every team has their own little like spice on top of it, you know, the way that they like to play. So yeah, it's a combination of everything for me, at least. I don't really idolize any players or teams or anything like that. This is good. This is actually really smart by you because you took blue, you cleared it, it's all safe. Again, I don't need to keep talking about crosshair placement, but just remember that to be one thing that you focus on. Your team was taking space at long A, this guy's holding middle, and you were just sitting in that corner blue perfectly. You didn't have anything else that you needed to do anyway, since they're already pressuring A, so might as well sit in blue and see if somebody pushes behind me. And again, good headshots. Good reactionary aim from you quite often. Yeah, so here you have a lot of utility. Think about, so here you get blind, right? This is when you have to say to yourself, okay, wow, I was getting ahead of myself there, right? Because you ran out of the bathroom's door, right? Even though you have teammates coming up long and short, you just ran out. So now you get hit by that flash, you got to think like, okay, what can I do with my utility that I have? Check the clock. How much time is on the clock, right? And then see how you can help your teammates. What I would do is I would come back, and I would throw I would molly behind the default boxes here. There's a set molly. You can find that if you go on like YouTube or watch a demo. You can molly behind the default boxes, and then you can throw a flash over for your teammate here on short, or even for the long guys since there's an opper on map. So you just want to think about how can I help here, because you're the only one with like the most utility besides the other guys with flashes. And the guy that has 2 flashes is about to peek entry, which is not good, but it's okay because he found the frag. It was good patience though. Should there be someone watching Monster Water every round on T side, or is it not that important? It depends on your plan for the round. Like if you're gonna default, you should always have somebody causing pressure to the other team in both short and monster. You know, there's pressure. There's a difference between like pressure and presence. Presence, okay, they know that you're there, because maybe you're making a couple footsteps. But pressure is you actually maybe fake taking short B. You actually take the short B, but you either sit somewhere and play anti-flash, or you just completely leave. So it's good to be like applying pressure and stuff, but you don't need it every round. Sometimes it's good to just have a guy go towards monster in the beginning of the round. He mollies short B, spams a little, and then he just runs back to A, because maybe you guys want to finish A that round, you know. So those are some of the times where it's necessary to have someone there, and when it's not. Sometimes I do notice that I don't use utility when I should, and I also notice, especially after this, that I don't use it effectively. So you're going to try to work on that. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm telling you, man, utility changes rounds, it changes games, it changes scenarios. And yeah, the crosshair placement thing, man, I promise. Like, if you're walking up in areas like this, this will be the difference between whether you get the kill if he's there or not. And this is very dangerous because just let this guy spam, dude. Who cares if this guy spams? There's no reason for you to look at the door. It's only gonna get if he's spamming and he hits you, it's unlucky, but you still have to continue clearing blue. There's so many ways that you can die there. There's a lot of like players in like the casual area where it's like, if they get like spammed or something, they'll just like freak out like then and there, and they'll just be like, dude, he fucking hit me, this and that, like you know, like, dude, just stay focused, just keep playing. People get lucky, you know. There's a lot of luck in Counter-Strike, actually. So there's a lot of things that happen that you might not always be able to control. We have to wait until November for at least a major. Yeah, I know, it's rough, dude. The whole world, man, it's going crazy. Okay, let's just quickly, we're gonna skip. I just want to see a couple CT rounds, guys, before I have to go. Watch pistol around real fast. Peeking blue. This guy in short. So good kill, but like when you come down here, if you're gonna peek deep blue, don't stand there like that. Like, just swing. If it's clear, it's clear. If you want to go out short B afterwards, open the door and peek short B. If he then peeks you from underground, it was just good by him. There's nothing you can do, but don't like swing unless you're gonna walk push slowly. Don't swing off the stairs and just hold the way you were, because if he peeks you right, that's a really easy kill for him. Counter-terrorist. But other than that, like, good aim, good kill. Coming down blue. In these cases where you push blue, on this round it's totally fine because they probably have like Glocks or P250s, right? But there's a lot of times where you want to like just walk going down blue. You don't have to rush it. You know, you're basically letting these guys know. So this guy with a deagle, if he was down there sooner, you're letting him know like, oh, okay, I'm rushing you. So now if he just holds with a deagle and he hits the shot, you know, you're making it easier for him. rather than he has to guess, like, okay, are you actually coming or are you not? So you get that kill. Teammates in toilets. Oh, what is happening here? It's good. You got a lot of EQ kills. It's fine. So you're going down blue again. You're lucky that there's nobody starting blue, bro. Oh my gosh. Dude, you have to approach this differently. What I would say is a better play is you go down blue, you walk, you smoke off underground if you want to smoke it, and then get a flash to peek short B, open the door, peek short B, and then either rotate through B back into A once it's clear, or go back up the stairs and help your teammate at A. But this play, it's more so just that this play is unnecessary. You don't need to do it in order to, just because you have an MP9. Like, I feel like it's common that somebody might think, like, okay, just because I have an MP9 in this situation, let's just rush. Let's rush or do some sort of crazy play. You don't need to. MP9 is actually a really good gun, and you can still play normal. Let's go to next round. Alright, first gun round. By the way, that flash is not going to flash anything because it goes way too deep. So it's better to just not flash at all. Try to throw a set flash that will blind everything in mid, or don't throw a flash at all. Because you can use it on so many other situations. But I noticed you like going blue. Right here, if you are going to open this door, please call for a flash. Please call for a flash in front of the door. How'd I know? Yeah. There's nothing more that I need to say about that round. It's totally fine. If you want to open the door, just call for a flash, get 2 kills, 3 kills because they're blind, and then just stay alive. You don't have to try to like ace them or do anything crazy. Right here at this point, you've done too many, like the same thing, too many rounds in a row. I think this is like the 4th or 5th round in a row. It's okay to do it on pistol and then the eco. After that, I would say like don't do it anymore. Maybe wait like 4 or 5 rounds and then do it again. So waiting here. That's what you love to see. You love to see that good timing. So normally this wouldn't happen. Normally you wouldn't kill this guy and then there's another guy that far behind him. So I think you had the right idea in terms of thinking like, okay, if I kill this guy here, there's probably nobody else here. But if you're playing MM or ESCA or Face It Pugs, keep your gun out anyway just because you know that people are not coordinated. So just keep your gun out and peek it safe anyway. And then you but please don't tell me that you go blue again. Bro, I'm gonna roast the shit out of you now. Dude, he's gone blue 8 times in a row. Just kidding, man. Yeah, I mainly just want you to go somewhere else, that way I can talk about a different play. Yeah, let's just see something else. I'm hoping that you do something else. You're defaulting in blue. So some other options that you can do, of course, than blue is like, yeah, about that. Yeah, it's like instead, man, just like smoke mid and then play toilets, or smoke mid, play lockers with your teammate. Your teammate's at long. You guys can even double long sometimes. And if you like to go blue this much, you can. If you want to do it early in the game a couple times, like piss around, eco, and then maybe first gun round or something, then just fake it after that. Just you can like run in, make a couple footsteps, and then walk away, or smoke it off, let them know that you're there, and then just walk away, and then go play toilets after that. You can even rotate all the way to A site if you want. But you just want to change it up a little bit so that you're not so predictable. It's all about the balance. Alright. I'm gonna watch one more round, guys, and then we've got to take off, okay? Again, you're really good at hitting those headshots, so keep doing that. Oh, okay. You won the round. Never mind. Okay, guys. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Hopefully, everyone has, like, learned something. Kronak, I'm sorry for picking on you so much. I just wanted to see if I could give you some of my advice, and maybe it can help you play better in your next games and stuff. But I wish you all the best, bro. I hope everyone enjoyed watching, and thank you, Predator. And guys, remember the giveaway. Refer to Envy on Twitter, or Predator on Twitter as well. Check out their stuff and apply for that wildfire giveaway, okay? Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Alright, guys. Peace.